Hello, hello. Good afternoon. If I disappear, it's because I'm having tech trouble. Hopefully this will stay on for more than a minute. I was having problems with Twitch earlier. I couldn't even get on it. So, hello, Miss Maddie. Hello, Mr. Boo. Hi, Miss Maddie. Oh, hello. Belly rubs for Maddie. Got to have the belly rubs before we start. Must do belly rubs, right, Mubs? Must do belly rubs. Hi, baby. Oh, hello. You're so pretty. How are you so pretty? How are you so pretty? Hi, guys. Right. I'm getting cracking straight away today. I'm going to be breaking up a book. Boom. It's a beautiful book. It's really lovely. But I'm never going to use it as it is. So I might as well turn it into something that I am going to use. This is one of the Killstar books, and it was a present from my sister for my birthday. And it is beautiful, but it's an A4 book, and I don't use A4. So my plan is to turn it into two A5 books. I think what I want to do, because this paper is beautiful. Hi, Boo. I think what I want to do is make... Hang on. Technical e-hopping happening again. What the heck is happening today? Hello, Boo. Hey. What? You can't possibly want to go out again. Are we back now? Oh, the struggle is real today, guys. The struggle is real. Is it working now? Oh, I've been having tech issues all day. Yes! Jennifer. Hello, Jennifer. Oh, finally. It's been driving me insane all day. Completely insane. Finally, I can get on with something. Man. I don't know what's going on with OBS today, or if it's my computer, or what the hell is happening. I could not get onto Twitch this morning. Sorry. I tried it for an hour and then I went, I'm too angry about this. I went off and did something constructive. And then I came back to try again and it still wouldn't work. And yeah, anyway. Let me try again. Let's pretend this is the beginning of the video and I'll chop off the extra 8 minutes at the beginning later. Hi guys, hi Cody, hi Mandy. It's not buffering this end, so I think I finally got it working. You might need to reload. Oh, thanks Jen. All right. I have this beautiful book that my sister gave me for my birthday. It's from Killstar. It is absolutely gorgeous. The paper is amazing. It's really nice. General kind of moleskin style, you know. But I'm never going to use it as it is. So in my usual style, rather than putting a beautiful A4 book that I'm never going to use on my bookshelf and not appreciating it, I'm going to RhoGyver it. This is a new word that my class has come up with for when I decide to MacGyver something into something else. So we're RhoGyvering this from one book into 2 books because I use A5. So what I'm thinking is turn it into one A5 book like this and then one A5 book that's maybe a little bit different, maybe junk journal-y or coffee dyed or, you know, just something different. So I've got 2 different books. That's the plan. So the first thing I'm going to have to do, because I know me and I know how clumsy I am and I know what will happen if I don't, first thing I need to do is gut the inside. Because this beautiful text block needs to be put somewhere safe. So I can see the gully there. So I'm just going to run my knife up there. Oops. Until that comes apart like that. And then I'm going to do the same on the other side. I'm holding it up because if I hold it like that, I run the risk of going through this binding at the back, and I don't want to do that. I want to preserve the binding for now because it will be easier to chop the pages in half if I keep the binding, or if I decide to make it A4 paper and fold it in half, it'll be easier to slice this binding off all in one go than try and pull each paper out. Either way, I need to keep the paper, I need to keep the integrity of the paper, so Okay, there's our paper block, complete with bookmark. And to keep that safe, I will pop it in my paper drawer down here, where it can sit nice and flat and not get damaged or broken. Okay. Oh, I'll put my writing board in there as well. That might come in useful later. So now all we're left with is the covers. I'm going to take all this off because these rivets are, I thought they might be stuck on, which would have ruined this, but actually they're not stuck on, they are screwed on. They're really nice rivets. So what I'm going to do is take this off. I don't want to take all the rivets off because, you know, I can use those as they are, but actually I could just take off this bit. Now I think about it, I'm going to recover this anyway, so you know, it doesn't matter, this is coming off anyway, but I just want to take off that middle thingy under there. Which, oh, it looks like this one's got folded down things. Okay, so I'm going to need my letter opener. Where's my letter opener? My letter opener is always in that pot. Today, it's not in that pot. What the heck? Where's my letter opener? Did I use it for something? I must have done. Oh, I've got a pair of tweezers here, that should work. So, oh yeah, this has got bendy clips. These are screwed on, which is really nice. This has to have bendy clips, which is still okay, but it's kind of annoying. It would have been better if it was screwed on. So let's find it on this side. There we go. This is a mini lesson in don't be afraid to wreck something in order to turn it into something that you're going to love, or don't be afraid to wreck something that you like to turn it into something that you are going to love and use. Because I like this, you know, I could go, oh, that's lovely, and put it on the shelf and go, yeah, I'll find a use for that sometime. And I never will, I can guarantee you, because I don't use A4. Just don't. There we go. Okay, so this should now lift off. Might have to finagle this because these need to be at a right angle in order for it to push through, and I don't know if it's glued on the outside. So let's push these a bit and then lift it off this way. Yeah. It's working like gangbusters. And it doesn't matter that this is here because when I cut this down, this is going to be the front of one book and this is going to be the front of the other, so this is going to be covered by the spine. Yay! Awesomeness. Okay, let's put that in there because I can use that on another book. Righty then. I think the next thing to do is take this elastic off so we can, again, we can reuse that later. So let's find out where it's stuck. Pull it out. There we go. One piece of elastic. Sorry. After spending the morning messing about trying to get technical crap to work, I am perfectly happy to be back at my craft table, my art table, making stuff, doing things, and especially destroying stuff. I'll tell you one thing, these Killstar books are very well made. Very well made. My chat's stopped. Is everything working okay? Are you all just doing other stuff and not chatting? Hopefully it's working. I'm a bit paranoid about it keep cutting out now because it's been doing that all day. Yes, thank you, Jen. That's fine, as long as it's working, you don't have to chat, I don't care. Okay, so we'll put that up there with the other bit, because we've now got a bit of elastic we can use for the books. Oh, it is fun, it is fun. Now before I start pulling this bit apart, what I'm going to do is one minute while I think. See, these are riveted in, they come out, they're really cool. But I don't need to take those off, so that's helpful. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is just measure this in half. Let's maybe do it in millimetres. Maybe it'll have a better number reading in millimetres. 28.8, 14.4. 28.8, 14.4. Oh, I missed the line completely there, but it doesn't matter. Okay. I wonder how easy this is going to be to... It feels like ordinary chipboard. So it should be fairly easy to cut through. Let's get a big heavy knife out. Big heavy knife doesn't have a sharp blade. No, you couldn't cut bread with that. Oh, sorry guys. Nope, that doesn't open that. That's not big enough, I don't think. Oh, it is big enough, that'll do. That'll do it. Any new blades? No, that's an old one. Okay. Oh, Yeah, that looks like an old one as well. Gosh darn it, I need to get some new Stanley blades. Oh, that one's sharp. Well, it's sharper. Let's use that end. Hello, Ina. Oh, my shoulder is not loving this. Okay, that's that bit done. Now, of course, if you wanted two landscape books, you could have left the text block in and just chopped it in half and boom, done. So now we've got the front and back for that one, and a front and back for that one. Let's get rid of the crumbs. How's everybody doing today? What are you all working on? Or are you just sitting? Because it's Friday, isn't it? Oh, it's Friday, isn't it? Yeah, Friday. I hope you're all just either sitting, doing nothing, and just watching along, or watching at work, waiting for everything to end, go home, or sitting with your feet up and a cup of tea. You're just back from work. Ah, so you're sitting with your cup of tea, Aina. Working on coffee dye and papers. Awesome. Are you having fun with it? Okie dokie. Now I want to get a nice edge so it's easier to hold, it's easier to work with. So what I'm going to do with this is, rather than try and cut it with a pair of scissors, I'm going to cut it with my sharper knife, because this is only fabric now. And I'm going to cut it through that way. See? Nice even edge then. Oh, let's do it that way, because that's a... cut against the card then. There we go. Just finished work as well. I'm nearly finished work. Although, I've got to say, Friday afternoon projects don't feel like work. When this is your job, you don't really get the option to go, oh, I don't feel like it today. I mean, I do have days where I don't feel like doing live streams. But once I'm going, I'm okay. So for those who've joined a little bit late, apologies for not being on Twitch this morning. I had technical issues, which I've also had on YouTube just now, but then they've gone now, so hopefully we're over that bit. Okay, so there's a front and back. And here's a second one. Let's do the same with this, because I don't need this bit, so I'm just slicing this back bit off. Just gonna trim off these crumbs just so I can clean up my workspace a bit here. Okie dokie. Job the next. Let's do one at a time so I don't get the back and the front mixed up, because the way I've cut them, they fit each other perfectly. So let's not get the front and back mixed up. So that's going to be the front of that one. Now, I don't actually use A5. I use cut down A5. A5 narrow, I'm told it's called, which is moleskin large. So it's a little bit, it's the same height as A5, but it's a little bit thinner. No, A5 slim. Courtney, help me! A5 slim is a little bit thinner than A5, and A5 narrow is traveller's notebook size. So I use A5 slim. Moleskin large, and I use these and I cut them down to moleskin size. So this is a little bit wider, obviously, as the cover, but I don't really want to make the cover the same size as the book, because I like to have a bit of an edge to protect the pages. So if I line that page up with the edge of there, I need to slice off about ½ centimetre off this edge, which is good because that means I can get a nice even edge now. same this way. Take that off. And again, this is going to be under the binding anyway, so it really doesn't matter if it looks okay or not, but it would be nice to have a nice straight edge anyway on the outer cover. I'm going to use my, I wonder if this will, I don't know if this is strong enough to be able to do it. I don't know if the bend there will snap, but we'll try it because I've got plenty of these. And this is sharper than my big knife. Just might take a little longer. Never cease to be amazed at your MacGyvering skills. It's just pulling things apart. It's not really MacGyvering skills. It's complete and utter lack of fear of, oh, but what if I mess it up? Most people wouldn't attempt this because beautiful book, they don't want to mess it up. I'm like, well, it's only a beautiful book in as much as it's going to sit on my shelf and look pretty. I can make it into something that I will use, which makes it more beautiful to me, even if nobody else likes it. So my Virgo sister is probably sitting there going, but she'll like it when it's finished. She likes what I do. It's just the RhoGyvering scares her. Puppy's sleeping. No, Maddie's just been up having her dinner. Did you not hear her? There we go. Nice neat edge on there now. Lovely jubbly. That was a lot easier with this knife actually, even though it's lighter knife and it took a little bit longer. It's sharper, so it stayed in the groove properly and it cut properly. And it's all about being brave enough to try it. Yeah, it is. Well, having a vague idea of what you're doing helps as well. But, you know, honestly, there are 1,000,001 YouTube tutorials out there on how to do stuff like this. Some of it by people who have no idea what they're doing. Some of it by people who are just trying it because they've seen somebody else do it and they're following along. And some of it by professional bookbinders who are way better at it than I am. So, you know, just pick your level and off you go. I've done this before with A5 books. I did one, I think it's on YouTube. I did one where it was an A5 book that I cut in half. I've done one where I made an A5 book and made it thicker. I've done one where I turned an A4 book into 2 horizontal A5s. They were moleskins, and I didn't like the moleskin large, but it was watercolour paper, so I turned it into 2 horizontal moleskin large landscape. That's the word I'm looking for. There's that card I was looking for the other day. How weird. Class people, do you remember when I found that Christmas card in the middle of stuff? And I was like, that's weird, because I found a Robin card the other day and now I know where that came from. But I couldn't find the Robin card. There's the Robin card. Let's put him in my little box of tricks instead of my toolbox. Then I'll know where he is next time. Oh, I'm sorry, I've got an itchy back. 1 second. It's okay, it's only dog hair. Right, now, do I want to take this off? This will be a rough, under here will be rough and uneven. More rough and uneven than this is. That one doesn't look like it's in straight. Let me get my screwdriver. Let's see. That does not look, that looks like it's been threaded. Yep. not in straight. See, these come off and then they go through like rivets. There we go. That's better. Still not completely flat, but it's better than it was. Right. The next. What do I want to do about that bottom edge? I think I'll just even it up because nobody cares about the bottom edge. I'm just lining it up with the cardboard because the cardboard is a straight edge, and then everything out that's outside the cardboard just needs to come off. On the subject of RhoGyvering, I had somebody ask me the other day, when did you learn to do all this stuff? Honestly, just playing, most of it. I learnt some of it from my mum, who is a handy-dandy, crafty, arty person as well. But yeah, most of it I just got from doing this kind of thing. I've never done this before. Turning an A4 book into 2 vertical A5s, but you know, how hard can it be? If I was that unsure about it, I'd go and watch a YouTube video on somebody who knows what they're doing. But these days I've had so much practice at doing this kind of stuff that I don't really need to watch somebody else unless there's maybe something specific about the book or the way it's made that I'm not sure about. This would be easier with my big scissors. I think that's as straight as it's going to be for now. And we'll figure it out later. Let's do the other edge. Now this one's going to be a little bit trickier because it's got those on, but actually that's straighter. So I think this one will be all right. Just let me go and grab my big scissors. 1 second. Yeah, it's much easier. Sorry, I'm a bit out of breath now. I have to deal with my serial killer breathing. It's this cold weather. It's playing havoc with my asthma. There we go. Perfect. Well, not perfect, but it'll do. We have a rounded top at the top. We're not rounded at the bottom, but honestly, for how much stress that's going to cause to try and round it off at the bottom, I'm thinking I don't care if it's rounded off at the bottom. So I'm just going to leave it. I'll paint this black, partly to protect it. I'll paint it with black acrylic, partly to protect it, but also to cover that, so it will be less noticeable anyway. The more you do it, the better you get. Yeah, just keep playing. Actually, I am doing one at a time. However, I'm going to grab this one and tidy this one up as well, and then I can get rid of my mat. Oh, this one's quite tidy, actually. This one's not too bad. Just needs some paper trimming off. I love these scissors. They make such a good, satisfying clunk. This is all broken anyway, so it needs to come off because it won't lie flat. That's better. Okay. Did I do the spine on these? I can't remember. No. Yeah, it's like anything else. You have to practice it. And the more you do it, the better you get. And every time you do something, you learn something. I've been taking books apart and remaking them and making little pamphlet books and all sorts since I was a kid. And I still learn something new every time I do it. Even now. And the worst that can happen is you end up with a book that's a little bit misshapen and a little bit, you know. If it falls apart, you made it, so you can fix it. And then you'll know how not to make it next time, so that it doesn't fall apart. Gotta have a little face. Or be like me and have Jupiter in your chart. I'm just like, it'll be fine. So when I'm lining the edge of the paper up, I'm not lining it up with the edge of the board. I'm lining it up with the insert. So there's the edge of the board, and there's a gap between that and the insert. I'm lining it up with the insert. So there will be a little bit of overlap, because that's how book edges usually are. Usually I cut it exactly, but, you know, just try something different. Live a little. Oh, that's going to be a pain to cut over. Honestly, with this sort of thing, the one piece, actually two pieces of advice with this. One, have a sharp knife, and two, make sure you keep your ruler pressed down. Other than that, you can't really go wrong, because that's the worst that can happen, is your ruler slips and your knife goes and you miss the edge that you're supposed to be cutting, which of course risks stabbing and stuff like that. My word of the year one year was flow, just so I could learn to say it's fine. Yeah, just go with it. Go with it. It's chi. Always reminds me of that dog meme. In the burning building. This is fine. This is fine. Hello, dog. Speaking of dogs. A row. Ooh, rar, rar. Well, how about that? Ooh, rar, rar. Now, this is going to be the top on this edge, but somehow I managed to keep that bit there on this one, so I reckon I could just cut that down. I could just fold that over, glue it down, and then the front edge will look the same, and I'll just paint it, or I'll just stick something over it. It'll be fine. Hello, Mr. Boo. How the devil are you? So I'm thinking one of these is going to be what I use for my January to March books. Excuse me. Because at the moment I'm using... Hi, Boo-Boo. Hello there. Hello there. Hi. Hello, hi. How are you doing? Come say hello. Come and say hello to everybody. Come and say hello. Come and say hello. You're just going to say hello from there. Okay. He's just saying hello from there. Come on up. Say hello. Boo-Boo. Come on. Up. Up. Good boy, Scoop. Come on up. No, he's just going to be a good boy. Paws are not allowed on the table. Oh, he is coming up, see. There he is, with his crazy feet. Here's Boo-Boo. Upside down, but here's Boo-Boo. How's that? Look how handsome you look. I know. Yeah, I know. We're upside down, but it doesn't matter. They can still see how handsome you are. See, everybody's saying hello to the Scooby-Doo. Everybody's saying hello. Oh, snooped. Sneeze. Oh. Okie dokie. So my plan for this is to just add a fabric spine, so that in class I can then show... Oh, sorry. This is my January, February so far. It's quite chunky, and then we're going to have March. I don't know, I might end up doing 2 signatures to a book. That's my notebook, but this is January, February. So March would take it out to there, at least. I don't know, that's kind of cool. I like that. Anyway, we're turning these individual pamphlet books into signatures to go into another book, you see. But because these are junk journal-y style, they're already wider than the size that I've made them. The size that I cut them. So if I put that up to the back, you can see actually some of it still overhangs the outside of the book, which is fine. That's the whole point. Woo woo, Scooby-Doo, everybody says. He's picking on Miss Maddie now. So I'll be finished with January soon, and then I'll be able to take January out and put February in, put March in. Rachel's messaging me. Hang on a second. Oh, Velociraptor playtime, sorry. Okay, so what am I going to do with the inside of this, first of all? Because this needs to have... Let's take that bit off. Let's find some fabric. I've got plenty of fabric, that shouldn't be a problem. I've got lots of this long fabric that's really nice. So long pieces of fabric. All I've got to do is find one that I like. I've got all this beautiful sari fabric too. Ooh. Ooh, wouldn't that look gorgeous on a spine? Hi Chloe. Wouldn't that look amazing on a spine? Okay, hang on a minute. Now, normally I glue this. I'm not sure if gluing it is going to be enough. Oh, I might need... What if I put one piece of fabric across there, and then put a strengthening piece of fabric down there, and then a decorative piece of fabric? That could work, couldn't it? That could work. Let's do that. So I'll put one piece of fabric across the whole of this piece, and then it'll be stuck down to all of it, and it will cover all this, and it'll all be nice. The straps will be on there, which I quite like. I find them decorative. So it doesn't really matter what colour I do this. Are those wide enough? Because if I did it double. I want this gap to be about that big. I'm lining it up with the weave on my mat so that it's both straight. Clever tip there. So, will these strips be wide enough? If I stuck that and then I went back over it with some hand stitching, that would work. Be a lot of work, but I like hand stitching, so it wouldn't be a problem. And then I could put something like this over the top. It would just be decorative. Or whatever I use on the inside, I could use a wider strip here and then put that over the top. Or I've got these bits which are a little bit wider, and I could do two. Because these are double width, I could do one there and one there. Did the binding book inspire you? It kind of did, actually, yeah. Inspired Anna too. She's off making all sorts of interesting ones. She's got a new one coming out that's amazing. But yeah, I've been on this kick for a while. It was kind of like I've been doing bookbinding myself anyway for a long time. I rediscovered how much I enjoyed it because I MacGyvered a book. I MacGyvered an A5 book into 3 of these. And I remembered how much I enjoyed doing it. So this year I decided to, over Christmas I was watching junk journal stuff and I thought, yeah, I like that. I remember doing that. Let's get back into that again. And it's just taken off from there. And then I found that book and I thought, oh, that's about magical bookbinding. So that'll be appropriate. And then it just rocketed. Whoosh. So I kind of watched the book because that's what I was interested in. I read the book because that's what I was interested in at the time. But also, yes, the book inspired me as well to keep going with it. I need my large pieces. Hang on. Oh. Ow. These are all my large bits. And I'm already looking at that bit and wondering if it would be wide enough for a spine. It would, you know. Ooh, I could use that on the spine. There we go. There's the spine for one. I've got some purple sari fabric that will go with that as well. We find something to go on the inside that will match it a bit. I like that. That would go with it, wouldn't it? Is that big enough? I think it's a fat quarter, so it should be. Oh yeah, plenty big enough. Yes! Yes, yes, yes! Yes, yes, yes! Ooh! I am now excited. Well, I was excited before, but I'm really excited now. Okay. The next one I'll do blue because I really want to use this. This is gorgeous. Absolutely stunningly gorgeous and I really want to use it. But I kind of fancied the purple. Why not? I don't use purple very often. And I have those. So I have a plain purple or I have a decorative purple. The plain purple actually goes better colour-wise. I think that'd be rather classy, actually. You did some junk journaling for October. It was fun. Yeah, I'm enjoying making my own books and using them. I think the reason this appeals to me so much is because I get bored after a month. So doing a month per signature means that I can completely change. So like January, my entire book was, I mean, it's all my style still, but January, my entire book was blue and white. I used blue, white and silver and a couple of little bits of kind of creamy colours, but it was wintry. It was a winter theme. And then this time I've gone for kind of a fiery theme with the lammas and the goldy colours, and you know, there's my butterfly I made the other day. I finished him off. I did some sewing around the edge there because it just made the edge nice, and then I added some words to it. I need to put some Mod Podge on. Mod Podge? I don't use Mod Podge. Matte medium. I need to put some matte medium over those just to protect them because they're just paper at the moment. So yeah, this one's a bit of a mishmash going towards green and orange. And then next month, I've already decided I'm going to do steampunk because in class we're doing vintage and, you know, shabby chic, all the pink and frou-frou Marie Antoinette style stuff. Definitely not me. However, Victorian black lace and steampunk, yes. So next month will be all brown and orange and gold, and I've got the steampunk graphic 45 papers, which are blue as well. So I'll be able to throw some blue in there too. You do themes each month too to keep the creative juices flowing. I just get bored if I use the same book all the time. I think that's the biggest problem I've had is with thicker books. Yeah, I enjoy using thicker books. I love carrying thicker books. I love the feel of thicker books in my hand, but if I start a thicker book, it takes me forever to finish it, and by the time I'm a quarter of the way through, I'm bored. I want to change. Whereas my Traveller's Notebook stays nice and thick and chunky, and that works great. Okay, so if I put that on there like that, obviously lined up down the middle properly, and then I put that down the middle there, that's going to be rather cool, isn't it? I mean, it's silver and gold, but I don't think that matters. It doesn't matter to me. This is very pale gold. It's not gaudy gold. So if I use the width of that as the width of the spine, aha, there we go. That's what I'll do. Sorry, brain is doing the, ooh, ooh, what if we did this? What if we did that? Ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm going to just tuck that under my mat there. I'm going to use this. Hang on, let me get this the right way round. So there's my front and there's my back. So if I do it like that, that's how wide it's going to be. And that's straight. I keep getting things caught in my bracelet today. And then we'll put this over here. Oh, look at that. That's just about the right height to go, width to go in there. With a little bit of an in-turn. So let's cut this here. I love it when a plan comes together. Isn't that pretty fabric? I don't even know where that came from. I just found it in my stash and went, ooh, that's gorgeous. Okay. Going to mark the corner just inside the corner on each corner. I know how big that needs to be. Yeah, probably should iron it. Yeah. Am I going to iron the fabric? I probably should. Yesterday I would have ironed the fabric because I had my iron out. Today I'm like, who's got time for that? It'll flat out on its own. The glue will do that for me. Okay, so that's that side there. That doesn't look very straight. Why does that not look very straight? Let's check this side. Did I have it skewed, or is the fabric skewed? Oh, it's that end is skewed. Okay. So that's where that's going to go. Like that. So I love how Chloe has so much faith in me. Like, are you going to iron that? Hell no. Do I look like the kind of person who does ironing? Actually, I did ironing yesterday because we were making coffee dyed stuff. But today, not so much. Okay, where's the edge? There it is. So that's where I'm going to fold it up. Being careful to press it down, not wipe it. You do you. Oh yeah, I will. It'll be fine. Oh dear. Okay, that's nice and flat. So why is this edge not flat? That's the question. Why is this edge off? Because the book isn't off. So why is that edge off? I don't know why that edge is off, but I just got to decide which of these are the two spots to use now, so let's find out. How wide is that? Well, it's got to be the big outside spot, so that spot is wrong. Okay. Ooh. Sorry, don't do that. My screen went a bit crazy because I touched the pad thing. Sorry about that. Didn't cut out though. I'm going to move that back just a tad. You know what? I'm going to take the difference between the two because that feels too big and that feels too small. So let's go in between and it'll be just right. See? That looks about the same as the other one. That's better. I will be able to sew through this Aleene's if I want to do a sewn bit on the spine, but You have to wait for it to dry completely. It's folding fabric, it's never going to be straight anyway, so. And I kind of like the not too straight look because it makes things look handmade. I don't like things made to within an inch of perfection. It kind of drives me a little insane. Okay, so this is going to be quite a turn up on both edges. So I say we go for it. Lost the dots. Where's the dots? There's the dot there. Where's the dot on that side? There's the dot that side. So that's going to be about there. Okay, I'm going to mitre these corners. So they're a bit less sticky, outy, chunky, make a messy. RhoGyvering. That's from the class. That's what the girls in the class have started calling it. When I start messing about with stuff, it's RhoGyvering. I don't really need to spread the glue out. That's not really what I'm doing. I'm just making sure there's no big blobs of glue so it lies flat. It just has the added extra of spreading the glue out, which is useful. But I don't need to do it. Just ta-da. You didn't know I could drum as well, did you? Eh? So see, that's going to be a nice even edge now on the inside. This is why we're doing this. So what I want to do is just double check. Okay, I'm lining that up with the white bit, just outside the white bit. That lined up, yep. And just outside the white bit on there. So where's my dots? There's one dot. Where's the other dot? Should be around here somewhere. Yep, there he is. So there's one dot. Where'd the other dot go? There he is. So that... Huh! That fabric was squarer than I thought it was. This is the advantage of instead of cutting your fabric, cut into your fabric and rip it, because it tears along the weave and then it's straight. It's guaranteed to be straight. You end up with a frayed edge, but you know, you can go along a straight frayed edge with a pair of pinking shears, or you know, fray it out like this, and then it will add some glue and it will stop it fraying. The glue will stop this fraying on the inside. I've got Christmas songs going through my head. Why is that? Why is that? This is Halloween. This is Halloween. Okay. Chop and see this. Chop and see that. Also pressing the fabric down, not sliding my hand along it like you would with a piece of paper, because if you slide it, it'll go out of line. You have to roll it over and then you can slide. Okay, so there's the inside of my book. Is there a right way up for this fabric? I don't think there is, but I kind of like it that way, I think. There is no right way up, but I like it that way, okay? So, back, front. All we've got to do now is get that onto there. So, I'm going to line that up with where it's going to go. Okay, it's either have that corner stick out at the top or have this bottom edge stick out. So let's line up the bottom edge. I can always trim that off. And I can round that corner off. That'll be fine. It'll be fine. Dog hair. See, no need to iron it, it's fine. That corner's glued, so I think what I'll do is just chop that off neatly and pop some glue underneath it. This edge doesn't lie flat, so I'm going to cut it off because it doesn't matter, it's at the bottom. And I can pop some glue on that as well just to make sure it stays. Close enough to perfect. So what we're going to call it, close enough to perfect. This glue dries clear, not white, so I'm not worried about being able to see any of the glue. Just dab some on the corners there just to make sure that doesn't fray or lift. It'll be fine because you won't see it, it just looks slightly glossy. But it will be completely clear. So let's just, oh, it's like at school where you used to get PVA all over your hands. Let's just run a bead of glue along here. Just to make sure that doesn't fray where I've cut it. It shouldn't because it's already got glue on it, but you know. I've already got the glue out, might as well stick a bit on there. Okay. One side done. So this should go about here. This side might be a bit trickier because it's got those things on the front. It doesn't lie flat. It rocks about. But hopefully that should be about the right size. About there. Let's make sure this is lined up. Straight. This is a little bit off. Just move that down a bit. That's going to need chopping off. That corner's going to need chopping off again, but you know what? If you have to chop off the same bits on both sides, that means it worked. Because it's wonky the same way. And I had to cut off this corner and that corner, and I'm going to have to cut off this corner and this corner. So that means it was square. I just... Something along the line isn't quite square, but it doesn't matter. Okay. Let's get some glue on this side now. I'm going to make sure to go around these rivets because obviously it's not going to stick to the metal. But if I can get it caught all the way round to the outside of the rivets, that's the key, isn't it? I'm going to need some more Aleenes soon. Should get shares in this stuff. It's looking good, isn't it? Wait till you see the back. The back's going to be even better. Okay, where can I put my hands? There we go. So yeah, let's get good and around those bits. Plus, because the glue dries hard, it'll kind of protect the fabric against wear and tear on those metal edges, which are actually quite sharp. For a nice even coat, making sure I get all the edges. And because those are divots, I'm going to kind of infill them with glue. I don't know what this stuff is. I don't know if it's PVA style, but it you can build it up in layers, so that thick bit there will just become a hard piece of glue. Clear stuff. Ooh, we were messy this side. And now, if we do this, it should be in the right place. Oh, it's moved a tiny bit. The good thing about fabric, of course, as opposed to paper, I mean, I could use scrapbooking paper for this, nice heavy scrapbooking paper, but fabric you can stretch once it's, you can stretch to where you want it to be, so if it doesn't quite fit. Okay, let's get in around these divot things at the front. Sure they're all stuck down there, especially on that edge. Make sure that bit's stuck. If you can feel the glue slightly seeping through where those big holes are, then you've got enough glue there. It's filling the hole and it's coming up through the fabric, so that will stick. Okie dokie. So let's trim this corner off again like we did on the other one. Make it even, like that. And trim this edge off. A little trickier going this way. Oh, that's got plenty of glue on it already, so I'm not going to lift that up. I'm just going to, oops, take the lid off your glue, that'll help. I'm just going to pop a little bit on top and rub it in around it. Just to make sure it doesn't fray. That's the big thing with fabric. You know, if it comes unstuck, it comes unstuck. You can always stick it back down. But if it starts to fray, you've got a problem. There we go. There's that one. Bit more than I needed, but never mind. It'll also help to seal that cardboard edge so it won't get wet or anything. Okay, so there's our inside bit of the cover. This is kind of a rubbery silicone kind of feel to it, so actually it's quite easy to get the glue off. And this is silicone, so it won't stick, even though that glue is still wet underneath, it won't stick to the board. Okay, let's get this nice and flat. Now I'm not actually going to be sewing anything through this back piece because that's not how I make my books. So I'm not worried about glue or having a heavy spine or anything like that. I don't care. It's just going to be a soft spine. So it's just a wraparound like a traveller's notebook. In fact, you could make a traveller's notebook like this, you know. If you've got an old book that you're not going to use, cut it up and make traveller's notebooks out of it. Essentially, that is what I'm doing. Okay. So I'm thinking this is so nice. I don't know where it came from or what it is, but it's really nice. If I stick that down there and then put that on top like that in the groove, isn't that going to look cool? Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to do the same thing, basically. Let's have a bit of edge. can see a bit better what I'm doing with the glue on this fabric. See, I'm not spreading the glue out, I'm just getting rid of the blobs. Make sure this is the right length. There. Are we having fun, boys and girls? I'm loving the colour of this. Oh, I don't use purple very often, but these two pieces just go so well together. It's fabulous. Fabulous, I tell you. Fabulous. Doesn't feel quite right that side. What's going on there? Let's double check it before we stick it down. Yep, I didn't think so. It moved on me. There we go. Before I stick it anywhere, what I want to do is get my pokey tool and I'm going to fray these edges because I really like that look. So I'm going to pull some bits off these edges. While the glue's still wet, because the glue will stop it fraying. just a little bit frayed rather than, I don't know, I just think one looks better than the other. I just think that looks nicer than that. This looks like you didn't finish it. That looks like you meant it to be like that. There's a difference between that'll do, it makes it look handmade, and oh, well, that just looks like you threw it together. Very good, very good. Okay, that's the front of my book. So which is the nicer edge? That's got a funny corner on it, so let's put that at the back. Again, I'm not sewing through this at any point, so I don't need to worry about there being glue there or making it too hard to sew through or anything. If you're planning to sew through anything, or if you want to, you know, if you were making a traveller's notebook and you wanted your string to come out the back, then of course you're going to need to put a hole through both pieces of fabric and then line it up. Make sure that it's where you want it to be. Okay, let's make sure that's even on both sides. And then I'm going to push it down in the middle. And the thing I really want to make sure is that I get it down into that groove so that the fabric covers that thickness. So if you imagine this bit, it's like it's fabric and then the board. And I want the fabric to go down and across like that. I hope that makes sense. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I don't want a gap. I want this to stick to the fabric at the bottom, and I want it to stick to the sides of these boards here. Because otherwise, when you close the book, it'll stretch and then it runs the risk of, see how it's sticking to the board now, so it sticks upwards. You run the risk of it pulling the glue apart if you put too much pressure on it. So all these weak points need to be well and truly stuck down. I'm not worried about getting glue on the cover because I'm going to glue it anyway. I'm just going to shift it up just a tiny bit because it's stretched a little bit. So it's hanging off the bottom. So if I rock it up just a tiny bit, it'll be even. That's right, you can also unstretch fabric. It's very handy. Go. See you, Jen. Make sure I want to get a good seal along this edge to stop that fraying any more than I have intentionally done it. Of course, if you don't mind it fraying some more, which doesn't really bother me. I don't mind hanging threads and stuff, quite enjoy them. I like the fact that handmade items, once you've put them together, they wear. And a new item that you buy will look old. Whereas a handmade item that gets worn just kind of looks broken in and shabby, and I kind of like that. Trying to avoid getting too much glue on that front cover there. Almost done, almost done. Make sure that weird corner sticks down there. Separating my notebooks into each month, breaking things up each month might be the solution to journal boredom. Oh yeah, I saw that. I saw your video earlier. Was it yesterday or today? I think it was yesterday, was it? Journal boredom. And I was like, journal boredom? How do you get bored? And I added it to my watch list. I get bored using the same book all the time. Definitely. Absolutely get bored using the same book all the time. Okay. Make sure that's good and stuck. Oops. Not dry yet. Be careful, you klutz. It's on the back, it doesn't matter. It'll be fine. Stretch out those little rocked up pieces. Again, it's on the back, so it doesn't really matter. So I can't really handle it too much because Obviously it's still wet, but that's what it's going to look like. I'm kind of tempted to leave it like that actually, but I really like this. And you see how, because I stuck it down, you can see it better now. See how I stuck it, where I stuck it down to the edges of those boards? It's got a proper gully, like a real book would have. See, you can see it better on this side. So that means, rather than just, there's the back of the book, and it's pulling against this side, it means there's tension that way, but there's also tension that way, once it's dried, and then tension that way. So this break of that vertical tension, or horizontal tension in this case, breaks up the opportunity for that to just come off. So the question is, do I want to add this or do I want to leave it? I kind of do want to add it. I think it's gorgeous. See, that would go on there like that. And then it would look like that on the shelf. Would look really pretty. Maybe I could do it that way. Ooh, ooh! What if I did it that way? That would add a bit of strength width ways. What if I did a bit there? And a bit there, and a bit in the middle, which is where the straps are going to be underneath. So that would add some, yes, that's what I'm going to do. This will be where the straps are going to be underneath, so it will add a bit of horizontal strength. To that spine, but you can still see that beautiful fabric underneath. I like it. Okay, so first thing we're going to have to do is put some glue on these edges. So let's put you over there to dry a little bit. Let's fold you that way because the inside's mostly dry. I'm going to tidy up these edges and put a bit of glue on them so that they don't fray too much. I love these trims. They're so hard to get hold of here though. Even on eBay they're really hard to find. And when you do find them, it tends to be like wedding dress kind of makers who are selling 84 metres of the same stuff. And I don't want 84 metres. I want about 1.5 foot of everything, please. Maybe I need to contact one of them and say, can I have about 1.5 foot of everything you've got, please? There's a nice lady up in Stoke who runs a sari shop. Assuming it's still there, she makes bespoke children's saris. So I might pop up there and see if she's got any bags of offcuts. Because the tiniest little scrap I can use, whereas she makes children's clothes, but even so, there comes a point where it's too small to use even for a child's dress. But one of the things she does is makes children's dresses, like for weddings and stuff, but then she'll make a doll's dress, so their doll dress is up the same as them, which is kind of cute actually. Good way to use up your offcuts. I might go and see if she's got any extras. One edge. These are cut edges, so they're nice and fresh, which is lovely. I'll probably use these on the front because they're more even. Oh, sorry, you can't see. Am I live now? Yeah, I've been live for 2 hours, Rach. I texted you and said I was live. Thanks for letting people know in Twitch that I was having trouble, by the way. I didn't know you could leave messages in Twitch when it's not live now. I know that for next time now. Globby glues everywhere. You only just got the text? God, when did I text her? An hour ago? That's crazy. Yeah, it's got to have been an hour ago that I texted you. I've made a book since then, woman. So there's the fronts. Now these fabrics are far too thick to go down into that gully and stick. So instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to push them down into the gully, stick them on here, and then they'll be loose on the back, so you could actually get your finger underneath. So the two pieces will be kind of separate. Actually, I don't need to. If I just bend it up a little bit like that, that works. That edge is straighter. Let's use that edge on the front. Nope, that edge looks better. It's not as straight, but it looks better. So these are not going to be attached right the way across. They're just kind of on the outside here. But I'm going to account for the fact that because this goes down and across and this goes flat, I've got to account for the fact that there's extra size on this side. So I'm going to push it down there, push it down there, and that is where it needs to be glued. it back down, in there, in there, and then it'll go up and round like that. It's not quite as even on the front as it is on the back, but you know why, don't you? Because I measured it like that instead of adding a bit. I didn't add a bit. So actually it should be in on both sides. That's okay, I can put an edging on there or something, that's fine. I cut it. When I cut it, I measured it like that, and I should have pushed it down in the middle and added a bit, but never mind. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It actually is a little bit wider anyway, so it's working. Let's do it this way round first, because this side is always a bit more tricky to reach. Because it's wet glue, you've got time to move it around. Scooch that down a bit. Again, I'm not worried about these white bits because actually that does fit. They do fit. Just need to push it to the edge. Weird, I don't know. Well, that's not straight, so that's gonna be weird. So we'll make sure that bit goes on the back. Okay. Yeah, about there. Let's line this one up straight. The gully, cross, I didn't put sticky on this side. Okay, never mind. It is looking good, isn't it? Even if I do say so myself, it's looking good. I love it. Oh, I like that. Yeah, it's cool. I really like that. That's awesome. Oh, I'm so happy with this. I have to think about what I want to do for a closure. Look at that! Ah! I've actually got some gold brocade. Like really thick, chunky gold brocade I could put down there, but I don't want to do too much gold with this being silver. Although I suppose I've got some metallic rub-ons. I could make this gold. Hi, Jean. It does kind of look like stacked books, doesn't it? But it also looks very classy and posh. Let me see. Let me see. I'll find my gold braid. It's over there, but let me find it here. See? There. That's the gold braid. If I put the gold braid down the edge, it would hide those edges. I could also always do this gold. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it! And then we'll do... So this one will be purple and gold, and then we'll do the other one blue and silver. Because I've got this stuff in silver as well somewhere. It's like, I don't know what it is. I call it drum majorette trim. Let's see. Would that just finish the edge? Or would it make it gaudy? It's kind of gaudy. I don't know. I've got some black cord piping. That would work too. It's kind of too much, that one. I feel like it's a bit too much. Let me get my box. Let me bring my whole box over and see what else I've got. Because if all else fails, there's always eyelash fibre, right? There's always eyelash fibre. There's always this stuff. Covers a multitude of sins. It's fabulous. Could always put a bit of that. Which is over the top, but it's more gothic and over the top. It's a bit more me, I think. But I also have black velvet ribbon. It's a bit too wide. If it was thin velvet ribbon, it would work. Got some eyelet lace, but I've got some more lace coming. I scored such a good find on eBay. Oh, no, that's too thin and frail. I scored 14 2-metre lengths of lace for £8. All different widths, all black. I'm very happy. Oh, I've got this. This is nice. And it's roughly, so it would go with that. And it would cover that, but it wouldn't be too in your face. I mean, there's decorative and there's... Whoa! Oh, that's nice. I like that. We have a winner. We have a winner. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. You like it. You don't think it's too much. Yeah. Well, I do. I think it's way too much. Or I've got simple satin ribbon. See, that's not enough. That's okay, but it's not enough. This is... I like this. Let's stick with this. I've got this in all sorts of colours too. Let's do this. It's like Dracula's diary. Yeah, I suppose it is actually. We shall call this Dracula's diary. Year 1786. We could call the other one Van Helsing's diary, shall we? Oh, that edge cut better, so let's use this one at the top. This is one of those ribbons that's made on the bias, so that it ripples on the edges. It's kind of like bias binding. Yeah, I've got some gold rub on I could put on there, so it would be black and silver, but it would have gold highlights. I think that would be kind of cool. It would tie it in with this a bit better. I'm not a massive fan of gold, but I like things to match reasonably well. No, I need a bit more on this side. It needs to be a bit wider. Franken diary. I like it. A Franken diary. I'm just lifting the ruffles so that they go up over that sari fabric to hide the edge of the sari fabric. Come on, get under there. Get in there. Mess me about, mister. You probably can't really see what I'm doing here, but the thick centre is, or the centre is thicker than the ruffles on the edges. So I'm holding down the centre and then lifting the ruffles up over the edge of the sari fabric. Because it's thinner, it can take that extra little bit of thickness underneath. It's a tiny bit too long there. Look for the red dot, Rachel. If you've got a red dot and it says live, then it's live. I like that. That's classy. Let's do the other side. See ya, Ina. Something went wrong with your phone and your TV. That's your Wi-Fi. If your phone and your TV go off at the same time, that's your Wi-Fi. Probably needs to reset your Wi-Fi box again or something. Okay, so that's going to go there. And that is almost exactly the right length. I thought I cut it longer, but apparently not. Let's cut off that frayed bit. Bit of glue. Yeah, we're sticking black bits to purple bits, Rach. Bet you love this one, don't you? This is right up Rachel's alley. Perhaps not the gold bits, she'd prefer silver. But you don't get sari fabric with silver bits on. Why is that? Why is it always gold? Why is it always gold? I need to know this. Does anybody know? Looks luxurious. Thank you. Yeah, it does kind of. It's yeah. This bit needs to be velvet. I almost want to find a bit of flat velvet and velvet up the front, but if I did that, I'd have to take the inside off to undo those screws. So sadly, I can't do that. But this is that silicone rubber type stuff that kind of feels velvety, if you know what I mean. The gold scared me. Yeah, the gold's piping was a little bit too much, but I like it with the black. The black detracts from there being too much gold. I like that. Okay, that's got a kink in it, so I'm going to put that way around, because that will go up and over the sari fabric then. I don't know that this is going to stay stuck to this stuff, to be honest, but you know, you live and learn. And if it doesn't, I'll just restick it with E6000, because E6000 sticks everything to everything. I'm not so worried about whether this is covering the edges of the sari fabric on this side, but I am going to lift it up because it seems to fit a little bit better if I do. The thing about doing everything in black, you see, is that if it doesn't quite look right, or there's something that needs filling in, you can just use a black Sharpie. You were hanging around and you still missed it. I bet you weren't refreshing. You have to keep refreshing or you don't get the notifications. But you should have got a notification on your phone. I don't know why that didn't happen. But my tech has been way off today. I had some problems at the beginning of the stream as well, so that might have affected it. Okay. It's not quite as straight on this side, but it's the back. I don't care. Who's going to look at the back? Nobody. Nobody ever looks at the back of anything. Oh, have you got that howling wind down there? We had that this morning. It was horrible. Maybe that's why I was having trouble this morning. I mean, howling wind shouldn't affect technology anymore, but it does. Okay, so that's that one done. I need to go and leave that somewhere to dry now. So that's what it's going to look like when I've got the bits in it. That will lie flat. That's the inside. Looks pretty, even, nice. And what I'll probably do when I do my binding, because I'm going to have the 3 straps, I'll probably get some purple or black cord, black strapping, rather than the white. I've got white, but I think purple or black would look better with this one. I'll see if I can get some black, because I can always use black anyway. So there's one RhoGyvered book. The last thing I need to do, while I remember, what's that stuck on there? Need some bit of matte black acrylic. Again, this is the bottom edge, so I really don't worry too much about what it looks like, so I'm just going to slap some paint on. trying to avoid the material, but I don't think that's quite possible. So. Bless you, Miss Maddie. That was a big sneeze. She was very, very quiet and then she sneezed, so I'm guessing she woke herself up. Now she's fighting the duvet. Oh, I'm sorry, I keep going off camera. You have to tell me these things. Can you hear her? She's so funny. My little gremlin. There you go. Doesn't look perfect, it just looks finished. That's better. The white you can see is actually the white of the fabric. I have painted all the bits. Oh, but Finny passed away. Oh. Bye, Scrooge. It always amazes me how young he was when he played Scrooge. Because he looked like a really decrepit old man, and yet he wasn't. He was really young. Are you doing pockets? I don't need pockets. I've got pockets in my signatures. My signatures have got pockets. I really don't think I need to do anything like that. So this is, well, without that. Yeah, I'm going to be doing 6 of these, because I don't think I'm going to fit 3 signatures in. Let me see. There's January. And there's February. February is only not even halfway done yet. And it's already chunky. So yeah, I think I'm going to be doing 6 of these for the year. Oh, look! Look how beautiful! Oh my goodness me. Oh my God. Oh. I love it. I wish I could explain to you how it feels. It really, feels amazing. That just completely squares up everything, having the signatures in it. Oh my God, it feels... Squee! Hi, boo-boo. So, apart from the fact that I've got my January and February the wrong way round, once we bind it in class, which obviously I can't do till I finish February, so that'll happen about mid-March probably, this is what it's going to look like. Although I'm actually tempted, I'm so tempted to bind it in class ASAP and use it like this as a book, because oh my God, it's gorgeous. But I love my traveller's notebook. Oh my god, look how cool that is. I'll have to do a book flip once it's all bound and everything. I'll have to do a proper January, February book flip. I'm so happy with this. And it's going to get chunkier. It's got some more to go. I've got to think about what I'm going to do as a closure and whether it'll need a closure. I might try and find one of those... Is it Tim Holtz does the little sticky up things that you push through and then you have an elastic band and it elastics around? I think that might be a good solution. Or perhaps a buckle. That might be cool. Oops. I've dribbled on it now. Sorry, I'm that excited. Perhaps if I got the two ends of a belt and the buckle this side and belted it, that would be cool, wouldn't it? And then I could run the belt from there right the way across. I'm going to have to think about that. Or I could even use, I could do a belt ribbon. I could do a ribbon belt, couldn't I? That would be cool. So it would look like that. And it would it would look like that. And then this would come up and it would be on a buckle like that, with a buckle there. Like an old-fashioned photo album, yeah. Or, oh, a key lock and clasp, like an old-fashioned photo album. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm not big on keys and locks. Even decorative. Well, I like keys, but I don't like keys and locks on the outside of books. I don't know. It's just the thing I have. To me, books should be accessible. They shouldn't be locked. It's just me. Oh, I love her. I kind of don't want to take the signatures out and put it in back in my notebook now. But she needs to dry, so I'm going to have to. Oh, I can't wait to bind her. She's going to be amazing. And I'm going to have 6 of these. Well, until I get bored. I might get bored with junk journals halfway through the year. But for the moment, I'm still very into junk journals. So I'm at least going to have 2. Because I'm already planning to do March. So I'm at least going to have 2. I'm nearly finished January. I've just got one more page to do in January. And then that's it. I can take January out and we can start on March. Okay, so that's that one done. Let's put her over here to dry. I think if I pull that out, I can lay her on top of there. There we go. She should be all right there. Now the other one, I'm not going to do the other one today, obviously, because I've been on for hours already. But I thought I would have a look and see what fabrics and things I've got, and see if I've got what I think I might want. Just in case I might want to find something else. Do the old eBay search for things. Right, these 2 need to go back in my other box. Because they live in my big box with my big pieces of fabric. Ugh. I'm kind of leaning towards blue because I like blue. So that one can go back in there. Hello, Miss Maddie. That was a big jump. That was a big jump you did. Wow. That one can go back in there. Okay, I've got this. This is beautiful, but I don't think there's enough of it. No, there's not enough of that one. This is all smaller pieces down this end. things I could use for the back, but not the inside. So let's find the inside first, because that's what we need to match everything to. That's pretty. That's purple again though. I don't want purple again. I don't want purple twice. I want blue. I want blue. Woo! Look at that. That's nice. That's gorgeous. That's lovely for the inside. It'll do nicely. So there's the inside. That kind of works. I think that would be a bit too much. Yeah, that's too much. That's too... No, don't like that one. Definitely not. Meh. No. No. I've got some navy blue. Where's that navy blue gone? Let's find that one. That's navy blue, but it's got like green on it. It's a bit too greeny, but they would match. They don't have to match. I don't necessarily want them to match. See, I had a big piece of this. This would have been exactly the right colour. But I used most of that in January, so I had a big piece of that. What else have I got? I think I need a dark blue. I want to pick out that dark blue. That doesn't have any blue in it. That's kind of navy-ish. See, it's navy rather than black. But again, I really liked that bit, so I tore it up the other day. That's the problem. We've always already used the bit that is exactly what you want. That'll be nice for a Christmas one, look. That'll be nice for the end of the year. No blue on that either. Oh. That's red. That'll be nice for an autumn one. I like that navy. I wonder if I can make that navy fit. It's not big enough, is it? It's not a big enough piece because I pulled it apart. But what if I... Let's take that out of the way and take that off because that's too bright. I don't want that one. What if I use that down the back? I'd have to overlap it anyway. It'd have to be... Let's take that out of the way as well. I'd have to overlap it because it wouldn't quite be wide enough. So I'd have a seam down the back. What if I took this and just made two patches, almost? That would be cool. Or even one. just take that and use one down the back. Is that too... Those kind of go together. I like those. Okay. That's better. That's more toned down. I love this fabric, but it would have been gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous with this one. That would have worked beautifully, and it would have been sumptuous, and again, gold embellishments. It would look really cool. But I don't have enough of this either now, unless I just use navy blue. Something navy, get a bit of navy blue and use this kind of as a medallion on the back. That could work too, couldn't it? I like that idea. So what if I use this inside? Which you won't see from the outside, but you see it as soon as you open the book. Get a bit of navy blue to go down there, and then put this on here like a central medallion type thing across the middle of the book. Let's try it on the other book, because it's easier to imagine it on the other book. It's not the right colour, but it's easier to imagine it. I think that'd look really cool, actually, across the middle of a book with plain navy blue on either side. I need some navy blue strips. I need a piece of navy blue about 8 inches long, well, about 10 inches long and about 4 inches wide. So when I go thrifting next week, I will have to see if I can find an old school skirt or something like that. An old cotton school skirt or something would do. I like that. I think that'll look cool. So that needs to go back in my other box. Let's pop that down there. Fold this one up. I do like those two together though. Those are kind of cool together. I'll have to use that for something. Oh, that needs to go in my other box as well. That's a big piece. So it's not quite square, but that bit will be at the back, so it doesn't really matter that much. Oh, come on. Yeah. That on navy blue fabric will look really cool. So I need a piece of navy blue cotton about that long and about that wide. Stick that on the back in the middle. That'll be very cool. Yeah! So hopefully I'll be able to find some of that on Monday, and then I'll be able to put this book together next week. And then I've got 2 books ready. And what I might do is make this book, use the insides of the book to make a plain junk journal. Maybe. Or I might leave it and use it for March and April. Who knows? Who knows? I'll probably have changed my mind 3 times by then. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up there for today. Hope it's been fun having a play along. I'll put that with that as well, because then I'll know where it is. Go and make books. Go forth and make books. MacGyver things. Go forth and change stuff. And I will see you all again next week. Thanks for joining me. Bye.